Hey you, I'm the Queen of Shade. Welcome to the interview. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, oh, and hit my Cash App to support your favorite content creator. Now let's get to the interview. Mwah.
Let me tell you something. You're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. Said you're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. You're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. Said you're a bougie bitch and your mama is too.
Salutations, Stufos. This is your fabulous leader, the Queen of Shade, coming to you with a very special presentation. Moving full speed ahead, getting to know some amazing people from all over the world. All types of people from all different types of backgrounds. It has been an amazing journey, getting to know their stories and what makes them tick and how they got to be the people that they are today has proved rewarding and exhilarating. Having said all of this, I have someone else that you need to meet right now. This young lady, or woman, we should say, is an artist, a creative. She has a brand new single out on all streaming platforms right now called Go. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to formally introduce you to the artist, Deleqúa.
Hello.
Right? I'm gonna have to add in applause from that. We're gonna have to do the Wendy Williams stuff. We're gonna need.
Honey, I love it. You know what I want to say to you is I guard my energy like the plague.
Yes,
Listen, when you said that, let me tell you something. I don't know if you see, I watch that on a regular because when I tell you you spoke that and I needed that when you said that.
Yes.
Whew.
Beautiful lady. Amazing.
You're beautiful. I love you.
I love you too. How's your day been so far?
You know what? Today has been a great day.
Right.
Some things came across my desk today, so I'm very excited about that. Just loving life. The universe is good to me. The creator is good to me.
Yes, I was going to say, being an artist, pushing, and you're in the middle of right now pushing a brand new single. It's a lot of work, getting it out there, getting people to hear it, the promotion, the marketing. It's a lot. And are you signed? Are you your own like indie artist?
Yeah, I'm an independent artist. I am not signed. I'm indie right now, but we'll see where the cards may land because I'm open to it. I've always been a desire in my heart forever to be be signed in things and be an artist, but I also come up in a world where independent works just as great. You kind of get your privacy with it. I don't have to worry about people stalking my house. I mean, it happens a little bit, but not nothing crazy. So I'm cool with that.
Yeah, you know what? That is a beautiful thing. I'm an indie artist myself, but
yes, you are.
Yeah, right. But like for me, the music industry, I didn't like the way that it was. Being there, I didn't like that. So it made me, and I'm defiant as nature, Deleqúa. I will do it myself. Like I don't care.
Right.
I'm that way even with sex. I will get out of my face. I will do it myself. Like, so I've just always been that way. So, but I see a lot going like forward with you because like the single Go is so beautiful. You sound so amazing. Like my God. So I want to start right there. What was the inspiration of the song and how did you come up with the melody? Because it's so beautiful. Like it's beautiful. It like literally when you listen phonically, it's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's funny. I have a team that I work with. I have writers. There's another artist I have to always shout out. His name is Naquan Wanye. That is my boy. He's an ally, actually, to the LGBT.
Yeah.
So he's a heterosexual male, and that's like my brother. He's like my brother, very handsome guy. So ladies, holla at him. But he's an amazing artist. And I have my other brother, William Howard, who's a writer as well, who writes with me, has wrote a lot of my songs with me. The producer, Denzel Smalls, and PC Beats. So I had a group of people to work with me on this record. I called Nick Quan. I said, Denzel sent me this record. And he was like, D, I need you to listen to this record because he loves to produce. And he's like, I need you to listen to this record. And I heard it. And my management said, D, can you get a song? I want you to put something out for the summer. And, I feel like you need to get something out there. You've been through, everything you needed to go through. It's time to put something out, at least for the summer. And I was like, I got other things that I'm in the works right now that's not out. I haven't announced. My manager's like, no, we need to do it. So then the song came across my desk. I called my writers. I said, let's tell people to go and live their dreams.
Yes.
And they delivered like they always do when it comes to when Deleqúa says she's ready to record. My team is always ready to deliver. So that's how it all came together.
You know what? I'm so happy to hear that because it takes a village. It takes a village. Like people don't understand the labor intensiveness that is required to do art because art does it imitates life. It's so much because I said this to another young man, actually my son, he's an artist and he's moving to LA soon. And I told him, I said, listen, it is our job as artists to convey feeling and emotion. So, through our song, we have to convey and get it. We have to convey every emotion, not just the happy, not just the sad. We have to do gambit, So, in order to do that, you have to be in touch with every single emotion in yourself.
Yes. Yes.
And it's just very difficult. Deleqúa is so difficult, but we, like you said, the team marries it and helps it balance and arranges it and different things like that. So I'm so happy to hear it, and I know that there will be more coming. But I love the song Go. Like I love it. I love it so much. I love the message. I love the vocals. I love the explanation. I love the arrangement. Like, listen, I can talk like this all day. Like, I love it. It's definitely something that you will be remembered for. You know how some artists, they put out music and music and music and they grow in their careers, but there are those songs like for example, I was speaking to my grandmother last night, and we were talking about Jennifer Lopez, and she's an actress. She's gone on to do so many things. She danced as a fly girl on The Color Purple. I mean, not The Color Purple, In Living Color, and just all different kinds of things. But I remember her first single, If You Had My Love.
Me too.
Exactly. So it's so, and it's rare that you have an artist where you remember their first song, that song that sticks with you. And yours is definitely one of them because and then it's such a powerful message. Go, live your life, embrace your journey, be on that journey, become more. Like it's such a beautiful thing. So now we got to get into you. So tell everybody, where are you from? Where were you born?
Yeah, so I am from Maryland. I was born in Maryland, born and raised in Maryland.
Yes.
I'm in 35. I'm getting up there, honey, getting up there. Mother getting up there, but she trying to, still keep it, keep it right, keep it tight.
It's sitting. Don't worry, it's sitting. So Maryland, I'll be 40 in September. I knew you were gonna do that.
Oh, you lying? You better
you're going to hell. September 29th, 1982. I'll be 40. And I'm right.
I need to get off this interview now because now you got 40 looking like this. I'm trying to look like you.
You look amazing. And the reason why I said it was because, for a lot of artists, we know that we're artists when we're young. But what we don't realize is all, like I just said, that entire village is needed to craft the sound and create the sound and the momentum. So a lot of us really, really good artists, we don't really come to public light until later. And so I just said that because I know that the best is yet to come for you, for me, for artists of our caliber and genre. What would you say would be your musical genre?
I love all styles of music. It's funny because I'm registered under pop, but when you Google me, it says R&B, and I'm like, I didn't put that in there. So I'm realizing that, oh, R&B. Oh, R&B. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
So, because I've noticed they do that to Beyonce all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
Yeah. They tell you, I did an interview with Thornell Jones Jr. He's worked with everybody, Diana Ross and Jill Scott and all of these people, and he's a voting member on the board at the
on the
Grammy.
Grammy board.
Yeah, Recording Academy. So he said it's very rare for an artist to start in pop. They always start us in black music, is what he calls it. So yeah, but get this, you won't stay there because that record is pop. That record is pop. I heard that right. That record is pop. That is
Thank
not
you.
rhythm and
Thank
blues. I
you.
love R&B, but it's not R&B. And
Thank you.
others that will listen will hear that that's not R&B. It has
Right.
more of a worldly appeal, you know. And R&B has a great appeal as well, but
Yes.
it's larger. It's larger
Right.
than just that. So it's
Right.
so beautiful. So are you an only child?
Actually, I'm not. I was adopted at birth, honestly. I was adopted. So I have a very, very, very big family, and precious, precious people, precious people.
Wow. That's
Yes, I have a
that's
sister,
beautiful.
and I call my cousins, and then we call each other sisters and brothers and sisters. We're all like siblings, all my family all around. It's so many, I can't shout them all out because it's so many little nigglets. But sorry, I had to say that. This is
That's
my
okay.
baby, so that's what we call each other.
Yeah, that's okay. This is my show. We curse and do everything over here.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, period. But no, that's such a beautiful thing because that also spearheads the desire to have a family around you when you make your music and yeah, so that's really beautiful. So let's see, moving on. I just love your music. I do. I just love your
Ooh,
music. I'm
thank you. That's what
I
I
just see.
desire. That's what I've desired. I've actually been doing music for so long. I don't know. I'm not as open with it, but I was a gospel artist, and
Right.
before I transitioned, I know, and we followed each other for some years now. But before I transitioned, I was doing gospel, and I had the gospel people so mad at me because I decided to be who I wanted to be and all that. So, child, honey, it's been a journey, and the fact that the music these many years later, albums later, um, people still enjoy my records, and I still got so much more to do. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
let's do
Listen,
it.
you know what I love? I love that we all, the ones that really make it, we find a way to be ourselves. We
Yeah,
find a way to create the music that we want to create. And I mean, with you being who you were destined to be, born to be, like it doesn't matter what they say, you were destined to be Delequa. You were destined to be this beautiful envisioned woman sitting in front of us right now. You were destined for this. So it's
thank
not
you.
your loss, it's theirs.
Come on,
It's theirs.
come
So
on.
yeah.
I love you. Oh, I love you
I
so
love
much.
I love you too. I'm just giving you your flowers because you deserve them. Like you said, I heard this record, but I also have been following. You've been in music. This is not your first record, is what we need to, let people
Not
know.
my first
This is your
rodeo.
first
Yeah.
record. This is the first one I am just like hearing with a new sound. But you have so many others. You have so many others. So like what would you say, like as far as your catalog,
Uh huh.
how extensive is your catalog? Can we find it all online or all on streaming?
Yeah, well, when you go to Apple Music or anything, you'll see most of my most recent music. So my
Okay.
music dating back to 2016. My gospel music isn't out there because it was before I transitioned.
Okay.
Now when I was non-binary and I was identifying under the non-binary umbrella, I still kept my music out like LYL and Fabulous
Yeah.
Life.
Yeah.
Now if
Great.
you go to my publishing, you'll see my
Yeah.
catalog, but you
Wow.
know it's funny because my bishop for the church that I attend,
Uh-huh.
he's been telling me for years that Bishop Romaine Gibbs, by the way,
Yeah.
he's been telling me for years, like, you need to do another gospel album. You should do it. I'm like, I'm not doing gospel right now. He's like, no, you should do it. I said, well, once I get done with my Beyonce is, then
Yeah.
I can do a gospel album.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to sing like Partition here
I,
too. So I'm just saying. I'm
yeah.
just saying.
That's an iconic record too. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I'm looking like I went right over to Apple Music and it pulled up everything. It pulled up everything. I'm looking at,
Mm-hmm.
single, what is this? Write It Away. Single.
Oh,
I'm
beautiful
looking
record that I
at
love.
Red. I'm looking at Fabulous Life, LYL, Live Your Life. But see, Grace Factor, like, but there's something that we all need to remember and know. All of your music, the message is empowerment. The message is be you, live you, love you, want you,
Yeah.
desire you, support you,
There you go.
benefit from being you. And
You.
I love this. I love this because we have a lot of artists, and I'm gonna just say this, we have a lot of artists that they're more so concerned with the dollar and not so concerned with the actual messages that they're
Yeah.
putting out there. So it's great to see artists that actually care, because what these other artists don't realize is if you put yourself out there authentically and you make music that A, you're supposed to be making, B is your purpose, the money will come.
Right.
You see, it comes by default. So it's just like, it's so great to just see that these messages are just, I just see them. I see them. I see them. Now, as far as music videos, I see one music video for Go. Is that your first music video, or did you take all the others down?
That's actually not my first. The others were out, but they, I did one for LYL, Fabulous. I mean, there's floating around on the internet somewhere, everything floats on the internet.
Right.
But yeah, right now, Go is the video that I want everyone to definitely remember from the jump, because it's been a rebirth for me, as Deleqúa, and through transitioning and all that. It's been a soul rebirth and an evolution for me. And I'm like, I got so much more to do. So I'm like, just start here, and what we've done can still go along with me, and that's how we do it.
And you know what? I love that because we all need that. I remember when I started in music and I wasn't this. I've always been a cross dresser. I'm a cross dresser.
Yeah.
They call me a trans illusionist. It's the nice, the real.
Not to cut you off, but I thought that I was like, when I saw your interview, when you were one of the interviews you were speaking of it, that you weren't trans. I was like, sis could have fooled me.
And I take that, get this, and I take that as a compliment. I take that as a compliment.
Honey.
It's a, but it's a blessing. Like since I was a little boy, I remember 8 years old, sneaking in my aunt's closet, putting on her big pink dresses with crinoline and walking around in her shoes. I remember when she caught me, and, Black Homes, she caught me. A lot of, shout out to Black women because they know. So she caught me and she didn't really say much about it. She didn't say much about it. We never talked about it. It was never brought up in front of my family as an embarrassing point. It was none of that. I just, she saw me, and what I loved is she caught me, and then she walked out the room and allowed me time to, play with it and then put it back. Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't a traditional scolding. Yeah, it wasn't scolding. It wasn't a boys don't do this. It wasn't boys don't do that. But, I come from a family where all my aunts and uncles are gay and lesbian anyway. Yeah, on my mother's side, they're all gay and lesbian. I lost one uncle to HIV complications back in 2006, I believe. But yeah, he had it for like 23 years. He got it back when it was the first pandemic, and they were calling it the gay cancer and things like that. And the medicine was so experimental. It was amazing. Yeah. He made it to his 40th birthday, but he did. And he was such an amazing person. And this is the crazy thing. This is the reason why I brought this up, is because he was the musical one. He was the one inclined. He was the one that would write and write and write. And as he crossed over, I'm a shaman. So as he crossed over, it's his voice and his presence that I feel when I'm writing music. It's his voice. And get this, I've never spent, as a writer, I write and write and write and write and write. I write all kinds of things, books, poems, just all kinds of things. I've never spent more than 15 minutes on a song, because literally people do not believe when I'm writing music, I'm hearing it in my head. I'm just writing down what I hear. It's really just coming through me, kind of like I'm kind of like a conductor there. It just flows through like energy, and I write it down, and then I call my producer. And it's so funny because I have production credit, because I'm like, I sing the song and the melody and everything is there. and then she
Yeah.
gets the instrumentation and then takes it to the next level. We really are a crazy team. But yeah, it's his voice that I hear the most when I
Yeah.
create. But I said all that to say that, he was the one that told me, because I remember being medically withdrawn from college. You know this, you followed me for a long time. But what he taught me, he said, you're not crazy for being who you were born to be, who you feel you need to be. If that is a homosexual male, whatever, if that's a crush, whatever, be you. And
Yes.
craziest thing, Deleqúa, is that I love your name. That's why I keep saying it. But yeah, I keep saying it because
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. We'll get to that in a second. But like he always put in me, there's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
Be you. And he was the only one that taught me that, because you
Mhm.
mentioned your pastor, and he was the only one that taught me that I could love God and love myself
Come on.
and be myself at the same time. I almost got emotional because he was the reason. Even before his passing, he was the reason. He said God is going to use you mightily. He's like, God is going to use you powerfully. And this was back in 2001. I didn't know anything about this or what I was
Yeah.
doing, or
Yeah.
artist or
Yeah.
anything. And he kind of bridged that gap of pain that felt like, because I had to walk away from church, I had to walk away from God and everything
Mm-hmm.
else. And I realized I didn't have to do that. Now,
Mm-hmm.
today, like I said, I'm a shaman, I'm an oracle, a prophet, a seer, a healer. I use all of those gifts that they told me I had in church, but now I use them, and they're so developed now because I'm being who I am. You know, I'm not like it's one of those things where if you're afraid to ride the bike, you're going to fall. You have to get on that bike with confidence, and you have to ride and pedal and you
Mm-hmm.
have to trust your balance. You have to
Mm-hmm.
trust that. And I find that whenever I start to question that, or I go into the does God really love me, I start to fall. And about bike accidents, you can scrape your knee real bad. So I don't do that anymore. Go ahead. You look like you had so much to say. Go ahead.
Ooh, you just keep speaking. When you speak about your gifts, we relate in so many ways.
Exactly.
So many ways.
Exactly.
And yeah, it's crazy because all the gifts that we had in the church, because the
Yep.
Bible says gifts and callings come without repentance. So it don't matter who you are, and I always tell people this. My favorite character in the Bible is David.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why I like David. A lot of I come up in the apostolic church. A lot of them want to be like Job. Why? Because he was the perfect and upright man, supposedly. Well, when they read on, he wasn't as perfect as you find out. But David was the one that was honest. My favorite scripture, one of my favorite scriptures is in Psalms 34, where it says, to try me and know my heart. If it be any wicked way in me, Lord, fix me. And I always said that David knew when he would sin, he knew he was sinning, but will turn around and say, I know I'm sinning. But I basically, to sum David up in the way, he was the most humanistic and the most real character in the Bible that I can get with. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? Because but I do have my thoughts when it comes to the Bible. I still love God. I still love being raised in a Christian foundation. But I've also learned that, okay, how many people don't really with this? Oh, okay. So y'all want to add and take and all this. Okay. Well, I'm going to learn to love and keep loving people. And whatever, however we get to the creators, how we all get to there. That's just really where we're all trying to get.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, David is also one of my favorites because he was, even with all that he did, murder, all of that, God called him a man after
Man
his.
after his own heart.
Mhm.
Yes.
And
He's
then,
the only one called that.
yes, and then get this, 42 generations later, everybody wants to focus on Mary being the Immaculate Conception, but Joseph, her husband to be, was in the line of David.
Come on.
Chose that Mary because of Joseph,
Come
because
on.
God loved David 42 generations before and said, through you, I will bring what I need to bring. Yeah, yeah, I know, right? The fire, right? The fire. But it's just, but what I find is you hit that on the head. David was the most human. He was. And, I was talking to my grandmother the other day, and she's a devout Christian, but she helped me build all of this. She helped me build it. Like she gave me her retirement. It was 6 figures. She retired from being a teacher. She gave me all that. This is why I sit here and I get to play in my hair and not have to run off. And I get to do what I really want to do, which is empower the world because of my grandmommy. But get it, she's a devout Christian and she believes in God and she believes in her Bible and she believes her Bible exactly the way that it is. And then there's me, you know? And then I was saying to her, because she said something, we were talking about something, and I said, I don't subscribe to that. And I think it was an affirmation she sent me. And I said, I don't subscribe to that. And she's like, no, but he meant, he was like, no, but the affirmation was, God loves us all past our mistakes. I said, I don't subscribe to that because I'm not a mistake. My people are not mistakes. I said, so I don't even want this kind of jargon being put into the minds of the people that I am responsible for. And you and I both, we're responsible for so many people. So many people hear our art. So many people know our art. So many people are familiar with our move, our journeys, our life, that I said, I don't want this. And she thought about it and she was like, okay, like she has sometimes a hard time with the way that my relationship is with God and the divine, because my relationship is one where, they all, how they taught in church, God don't speak all the time. He don't talk all the time. That's what they said. I'm like, well, he must not want to talk to y'all, because God talked to me all the time. All the time.
If I want to know what shirt to wear, God gonna tell me if I ask him.
Ooh, Deleqúa, you just hit it on the
But the
head.
thing is, I don't have to do that because my communication is constantly with him. So I'm already in my spirit. If my spirit is leading me one way, I already know it's God. See, when you're connected, this is why I'm sitting here looking at you like this chick knows. For some reason, this one right here knows me in and out, and we relate so much. Yeah. Because I tell people all the time, I don't tell nobody else how to believe or how to walk, but I know what works for me and who. If I have a question and I need an answer, God is going to let me know, yay or nay.
Yes.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yes. You hit it. See, it's so funny how our spirits are, because you prophetically hitting all the points in my life, because literally I don't dress until God, in my spirit. Everyone, I don't set out outfits. I get ready 3 hours in advance, because you gotta do makeup, you gotta do hair, all that stuff. But all of that, I get up after I've laid and waited and seriously took my time and rested. And then literally I start to see my closet. And he's like, put this together, put that together, put this together, grab this, grab this hair, do this, put a flower in it today. Like literally, and that's what people don't understand. So many people in this world in positions of power in religion, they want to be led of God, but they don't really understand what it means to be led of God. And they're so quick to tell someone else that they're not led of God. So by doing that, you forfeit your opportunity to be led by God. You see? So yeah, like everything. I have a one friend who is just amazing. She's a Hollywood actress, among other things. And she was in Barbershop and she did a lot of other films and roles, and she knows a lot of people. And there was a point where I was running out of costumes. I'm like, oh my God, it's really hard right now. I don't have the budget for this. And I did an interview with her. And she said to me, we're family. She said, I love everything about you. We're family. And she turned around and she's like, oh, look out for the mail. I sent you something. So then I'm like, okay, I'm thinking, something cute. Boxes and boxes of hair. This is one of her. They're all human. You can wash them. Like, this lady sent me boxes of hair and ensembles, and then says to me, oh, I hope you like them because there's more coming. Like literally that. And honestly, I would have never tapped into that ability or even met her had I not been listening to the divine. And the divine said to me when the appointed time came, okay, these 60-second videos, they're cute, but now you need to give them more substance. Now you need to talk to people. Now you need to gather their stories. Now you need to spotlight them. Like I've always been one to do that, but I enjoy doing this because I must admit, sitting here looking at you, how beautiful you are, how spiritual you are, how gifted you are. Like it gives my heart such joy because I'm not alone.
You're not.
Not
You're
alone.
not.
And you know, church will do that to you. Oh, you're made to walk by yourself. Oh, you're made to be, you're peculiar. Oh, you no, there's a whole nation of spiritualites
Yes.
us, just like us. We're not alone, not at all. And we don't all look the same. We don't all sound the same. We don't act the same. We're different,
All
you know,
different.
and that's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, just segueing, tell me. So, you move into your transition, and I don't usually like to talk about transitions because I feel like it's what you needed to do to be who you are. So that deserves no and nor needs any explanation. But
Mhm.
I want to talk about the transition from gospel. When did you know that okay, gospel music, I love it, but I'm going to go out here and I'm going to make my music and I'm going to put it in my own genre and I'm going to do this and I'm going like when did you know? Because I'm asking because it took me a minute to do
Yeah.
that. It took me a
Yeah.
minute. You know, because like you said, partition. I was writing songs. I got a song out called Fuck Me until it no longer hurts. Okay. So, you know, like, and I was, and I'm not gonna lie, that song came out and I was so like in my head about it. And then people
Yeah.
were like, I love this song. I've never heard anybody sing about having sex to feel better.
Yeah. I gotta check that one. I haven't heard that one. I gotta check that
Mm-hmm.
out.
Yeah.
I knew, I'd say around 2013.
Yeah.
So what had happened was, long story short, I was a deacon in my church. I
Mm-hmm.
was traveling Stellar Gospel Awards. I did it. My album was out. It was called Born in the Old Shape. And I was traveling with
Yes.
everybody. I know a lot of people in the gospel world that I'm friends, that I can still call on to this, and hey, we did it. Oh, hey, D, how you been, or whatever. Um, I remember first I just was really struggling with me, and I really wanted to leave church at that time because I was having so many problems there. And I remember I was getting sat down. People were calling my pastors, telling me they were seeing me in girls' clothes. Yeah, it was a whole mess. So I got sat down, put back up, sat down, whatever. So one day I just remember the Spirit saying to me, I said, I don't want to do this. And it said, well, if you want to leave church, just never leave me. So I heard that, never leave you. What? And I said, well, I don't want to sell my soul. And God said to me, I promise you, years ago, I'll never forget. I was just driving and said, how can you sell something that don't belong to you?
Oh,
This is why you get hit, because I've been hearing this a lot. Because a lot of people, I'm gonna segue into, because a lot of people talking about Beyonce sold her soul. I'm really looking at it like she can't sell something that don't belong to her, y'all.
no,
You
she
can
can't.
stop letting the devil fool y'all into this mess. This is
Yeah,
what he's fooling y'all. Y'all think you got it figured out, but you really don't. So
you
real
don't.
quick, and that's what I realized, that Christianity just was not right. Started to realize, I said, this all thing ain't right. This isn't it. I said, because there's no way you can tell me that God is going to sit here and allow me to be miserable like this. That's not God. God is positive, not negative. And
Yeah.
that's when I realized that positive and negative were the entities that we're really facing, and those have duality. That's a
Yes.
whole nother conversation. But I went to the main thing that got me, though, was I was in church and I got back up one day, and I heard, this is right when Kelly Rowland went on her solo tour. I'm a big Destiny Child fan.
Yeah,
Okay,
me too.
y'all don't know. I will fight people over Beyonce. I don't play. She's the greatest entertainer of all time. No one's better than her. I don't care. That's me. And I'm gonna always be that. I'm a Destiny Child fanatic. I don't care. You
Yeah.
will not come from my girls.
Yeah.
But I went to my auntie had bought me tickets to meet and greet Kelly. I had already met Michelle prior, and I'm, actually friends with her sister. Her and I are really tight, But I had met Michelle. Then I was like, I got the opportunity to meet Kelly. So I go, and I actually met my best friend the same day at the Kelly Rowland concert, my best friend, John, who I love. But we met at the Kelly Rowland concert. But when I met Kelly, I went up to her and I was crying, like crying hysterically. It was crazy. I couldn't help it because I could only think about, I'm a survivor. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to stop. I'm
Yeah.
going to work harder,
Yeah.
because I was a 15-year-old trying to commit suicide.
Yeah. Yeah.
and that album comes out and I hear them and I hear people so mad at Beyonce. They talk like about her so bad. I remember that being a Destiny's Child fan since day one. People think it's the glitz and glam. No, I'm like, I really watch y'all tear this girl down for 20 some years. You've tore her down. You've talked about her family, her child, and she says nothing to y'all. She just comes back and wins.
Yeah.
So I went to meet Kelly, and Kelly says to me, I wrote a little note on her, and it's the first time I was dressing the way that I was dressing, more feminine. She said to me, I see you. And she said, I thank you for being you. And then she said, listen to this. I see you want to be a singer. I want to see you in this industry. It's for you. I cried even more that my faith validated me and who I was.
Wow.
And then she said, are you going to go see B? I said, yes, because it's when she had added her Mrs. Carter show. So then fast forward to December. I wore this. I went shopping. I found these heels. I was so gung ho to wear these heels. I couldn't wait. I was excited. I'm wearing this to the Beyonce concert. Boop, 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 boop. So I went to the Beyonce concert. Mind you, I had just redeemed myself with the church folks, mind you.
Right.
Because they were just like, oh, cool with me after a while. Okay, yeah, you're not doing that no more. So of course I left it alone. Then I posted out after I went to the concert. It was an arena in DC. It was at the Verizon Center. And if you know how arena is, they have general admissions down in the front, and you got the seats up there. So I was down in the front. At
Yeah.
the end of the concert, I started stepping, like doing a whole runway catwalk out on there. A whole uproar in the arena went through, and all eyes were on me. It was thousands of people, and
Wow.
they were screaming for me. And I said, that was the first time an arena full of people screamed for me. And I said, that's what I really want. I'm
Yeah.
not going to get that in gospel. And then something said, that's what you're supposed to be getting. I
Wow.
tipped on out there and I posted that picture that night. Ever since I posted that picture, I never went back. I said, at this point, it's done. I tried to kind of teeter totter a little bit
Yeah.
after that with Grace Factor. But if you watch the Grace Factor video, I was wearing heels in it. I was feminine in it. I was who I was. I didn't really care because I was like, God loves me, and I knew I wanted to be like Beyonce. So
And
I
you know
said,
what?
this is what we're going to do.
And you know what? I love the fact that you can say that because let's tell the truth about Miss Beyonce. We don't know her.
We don't know
We don't lay down with her.
her. No.
We know, listen, we know what she wants us to know,
To know. Exactly.
which is really, she's so gracious in telling us that because she really ain't got to do that either, because this is her job. And we don't discuss
Okay.
personal life at the workforce in the workplace anyway. So my thing is, so many people see the level that she's reached. She has a lot of people that envy her because they want to be able to live their wildest dream. And listen, for the last 20 something, almost 30 years, Miss Beyonce has been the epitome of fierce.
Come
She
on.
has taught women and men how to bring it. So how fitting is it that you go to a concert for her, to see her, and you are there contemplating your existence and your own manifestation, and you start to walk and you are met with praise. Be you, know you, love you. That those things don't happen by happenstance.
No.
Everybody always want to be up in her business. Can we just listen to her music and celebrate her, please?
Thank you.
Everybody like,
Because
oh, she talking about Jay? Is she talking? I'm like, she's a songwriter. Y'all not gonna listen. They wouldn't listen if she
they
wrote
wouldn't.
every song. I love my man and I love my children.
No, they wouldn't hear it.
And they wouldn't
Say
hear it.
right.
They want, and my mascara running, red lipsticks. But they want that. So
Yes, they do.
why are you beating up the woman when she gives you exactly what you want, which is absolute life?
Yes. Yes.
Life. I love how that story you just told me was such a manifestation for you, because I know another gospel artist who talked about leaving, the gospel world and how shameful it was. But
Mm-hmm.
he found his way as well. And I'm so glad that I'm so glad that I'm seeing who I'm seeing today, because you are beautiful. I was saying that to you before the camera even rolled. We were trying to figure out, this and that. Honey, you are absolutely beautiful. And that's the thing. I would say to my grandmother, and this is what caused my grandmother to change her perspective of me, because it was, I would say to her, why would I choose something that would get me killed, hurt, beat, separated from God for all eternity, all of these things. And it helped her to realize it, because then one night I had to go there with my grandmommy. So she'll be 75 in October. I'll be 40 in September. So we were talking, she was doing her Christian thing. And I said to her, I said, how old are you, Nana? She said, I'll be 75 in October. I said, and you pray. I said, you don't pray on your knees anymore. I said, but you pray every night, right? She said, I pray every night and every morning. She said, I'm always praying. It's what I do. I said, and I thank you for your prayers. I said, because those prayers help me to get to where I am, whether or not you want to acknowledge that or not. She says, no, I acknowledge that. I said, well, good. I said, well, acknowledge this too. You are 75 years old. You've been praying all your life, and God has loved you. And he made me the millionaire.
Yes! Yes! Checkmate.
He put the wealth in me. And you and all them other Christians, y'all praying for it. You asking God for it, just to pay my light bill, just to do this and do that. And he put utter wealth in my lap. Utter wealth. I said, and then look at this. I said, and let's be honest. I didn't ask you to do this. God told you to do this.
And that's what gets them. That's what gets them. I'm in a similar situation.
Get this. She couldn't argue. Listen to this. My computer, listen, I had to move to interviews yesterday because my computer got hacked. I got people that don't necessarily care for the queen. I hint at it, but it's been a long time, 16 years. I met some Hollywood celebrities and they don't like me and they've done things. So my computer got hacked. So literally, I was like, I didn't know what I was going to do, because I was like, I do not have this in the budget. I cannot continue this right now and buy a new computer. And she looked at me and she said to me 2 days ago, because it came yesterday, the computer, she said, why are you worried and upset and crying over your computer? And I said, because finally, this is the nail that will stop me, because these people always just wanted to stop me. They knew that I wouldn't stop creating. I wouldn't stop making the content. So the only way for them to get me is to mess with the phone, mess with my social media, mess with my computer, and put a kibosh on it. She hands me her phone and we're on Amazon. She said, order the computer. Exactly. Literally, Deleqúa. She ordered a $3,000 computer. It arrived yesterday. And I said to her, why do you do this?
Yeah.
Why do you do this? If you are so devout and so Christian and I'm so wrong and I'm so
right.
She said to me, sweetie, you're not wrong. I may not understand it, but I bear witness to the anointing in your life. I see who you help. I see their responses. She said, and I know. She said, so this is why I do what I do. It's not about spiritual background or that we have to believe the same things, because we don't. But she said, it's about a charge. And my God told me to do what I did for you. And listen, this wasn't charged to her credit card. She went to the bank and pulled $3,000 out of her own money. And the insurance was $500 by itself.
Woo.
And I'm like, but you know what's so crazy? The reason why I say that is because I felt like it was the end. I was like, I can't move forward. I don't have this to do this right now. I'm trying to keep afloat with everything else that's going on, because, people, they be into this hair, into all of this, but they don't understand. I got 4 trademarks, copyrights. Like I own real shit. So I have to pay all of that So my money goes to that. I ain't got extra expenditures for hack computers and things like that. And she said to me, order the computer. And I said, but it's $3,000. And she said this to me. Why are you worried about $3,000 when God is setting you up for hundreds of millions? Hundreds of millions. And I almost couldn't look at her when she ordered it. I felt embarrassed. I felt ashamed that I couldn't just go in my pocket and be this, tower of strength. I got it like that and do it for myself. And she said to me, your day will come, but it wasn't today. My whole family just detest her helping me, first of all, and then me, because in my family, I'm the only one that says, God made me this way. I'm being who he created me to be. I was born to be this. All of y'all are up there wondering how you're going to pay your next bill. I got all this intellectual property on my way to wealth and prestige and all of this, and I ain't got y'all problems. And they hate me for it.
Okay.
They hate me for it. But guess what? Don't hate me, hate the God in me. That's how I do this. Like you said, I lay in my bed and then I rise, and God says, grab that shawl, grab that wig, grab the flower, grab the accessories, wear that. I'm being told, and literally, people ask, well, what is your best asset? I listen.
Yes.
I listen. That's what I do. I listen.
Yeah.
All my songs, everything. I listen. I'm just really good at listening. I'm really good at listening. It's like my hidden talent.
Yeah.
I listen. Like even my friends will say, like they'll be talking to me and they'll want my input and I'm just listening to them. And they'll be like, come on, you was voted most talkative in high school. Come on now. Like, you got something to say. But I've learned just as much as I talk, just as much more as that I listen. You got to be that way. So I said all of this to say this, because Spirit moved me while we were talking. Everything may not be as you desire it to be 100%, but know this: you were called to be who you are. You were called to do what you do. And I see storms in your life, but I see God telling me to tell you all those storms are going to subside. Every single one. I hear him saying that it will no longer be a financial imposition for you to do what you do.
This keeps coming. This keeps coming. That same thing keeps coming. Come on.
It will no longer be a financial imposition. Yeah. I hear him saying it's a song, and the high places I'll bring down. He's going to place things at your feet, Deleqúa, because he made you and you have a purpose. You have a great destiny, and people have to bear witness to that shine and that light. They need to know. We got so many babies that are struggling. They're scared to tell their mamas. They're scared to tell their daddies. They're scared for their lives that they need to be who they need to be. They're scared, but they're going to see you. And they're going to realize. And see, this is the thing. But you get these preachers and they don't want to tell you the truth. Oh, it's going to be hard. Oh, yes. The road less traveled is always more difficult, but it's going to pan out. And you're going to see sun rise like you've never seen before. What's your favorite color?
Blue.
What's your favorite flower?
You know what? A violet.
A violet. Why a violet?
I love the color violet, and my aunt's name is my aunt Violet. And I was like, oh, there's a flower like there's a violet too. They said, yes, okay. Well, that's my favorite color. I'm not a big person on flowers though, but you can give me what? Oh, what's the ones that we used to play? The little dandelion. What's the one with the white one? But you used to put like that. You could push. You could make. They tell you make a wish because it floats. I like those too.
Yeah, the dandelion. You're right. You called it right.
You got. I see. I got a little something. I know a little something. I know a little something.
Yeah. No, but I see a lot of success coming your way. Things that you never even thought were going to happen are going to happen. Things that I hear things that you hoped would happen, but your logical side said, but I got to be here and I got to have this and I got to do this and I got to do that first. And God's just going to change all of that. It's just going to happen. It's going to happen. Yeah, it's just going to happen. So Prepare for success unlike you've ever done before. Move that way. Move that way going forward.
Yeah.
Don't worry about how it's going to get done. Just do it. Just do it. Do everything. Do everything that you were created to do, that you want to do, that your mind tells you to do, that your creativity tells you to do. Put it all together. Put it all together. Because, see, that's the thing. See, I did some videos today and I told them, I said, listen, I've been through hell and high water. I said, and now that I have amassed what I have amassed, it is not my duty to give you everything that I've amassed. It's my duty to teach you and empower you. But you got to go get your own, because all of this right here is mine.
Yes.
Everything that over here is mine. I don't care if it's hundreds of millions of dollars. It's my hundreds of millions of dollars. It's mine. That's where I'm going. And it's the same for you. People try to, they want to tell you, oh, you're selfish, or you're not giving, or you're not this, or you're not living by the Bible, or this is that. Forget all of that. Literally. God said, forget all of that. Forge your own path the way you see it. The vision, the way you see it, the way you believe it to be, because that's the one that God's going to breathe on and it's going to become life. Yeah. It's that one. It's that one. All right, moving on. That's my little moment, my little shaman work. I got to do my shaman work. I
love it, because honestly, what I learned is I know it was from the Creator, what you said, because we have a lot of the same gifts, and nobody can tell me anything that's not already being confirmed.
Right.
What you said, you're the third person in the last week that has said it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Without me saying anything to you.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, two prophet friends of mine, that just sent me messages these last weeks saying, I was telling my boyfriend that I said this, and he's getting messages too, left and right, just telling us that we're in the right places.
Wow.
And I'm just like, I just got to keep holding on. And some things don't seem like it's coming when I want it, but now I'm in a place of peace. There's a lot going on, but I am literally in a place of peace and true happiness, like truly.
Yeah. So am I.
Thank you for your obedience in saying that, because that just encouraged me.
Thank you for your obedience in receiving it, because some people, they don't understand these gifts. They're like, what?
They don't.
But listen, these gifts save lives.
That.
They save lives, because we're literally being who we were created to be.
Yeah.
And what I love, because, I'm two-spirited. So what I love is, the world always tries to put down the two-spirited being. But in ancient times, we were your shaman, we were your prophets, we were your oracles, we were your seers, we were
we were.
So it's so amazing to be able to, and I'm meeting so many more of us coming, like you're here today. So many people with these divine gifts. So here we go. Tell us, I don't know if you can, but when did Go come out? Like when was the official release date?
Go came out on June the 10th.
Okay. Oh, so it's new. It's new. All right. So we gotta push that. Because I was gonna ask you what else is in the works, but I don't. This is the works. Go is in the works.
There you go. Yeah. I figured that question would come. Like I said, some stuff came across my desk even today. That I'm just like, yes, so, but I am in the studio working on music, and something you said today about preparing, there's so many things that you said that, are behind the scenes work that has to be done, for me to move forward, a lot of things. So I want to do those preparational things, because the message came through you today, but, we have Go. There's some things that I want to do, and I am going to do but there's something I'm going to do, and it'll be announced when it's time. But there is something that I have. I think I have one more big surprise for everybody this year, that I think, and I believe it'll be huge, and I believe everybody will enjoy it, and we'll go from there. But I'm excited. I'm super duper excited.
Yes. I'm excited for you, because this is the thing. We've been following each other for a while. It's been a while. And I just want to say, first of all, to you, thank you for, it's not over, but I just want to say this now. Thank you for coming to talk to me, because
having me,
like, it's just like I said, we're not alone.
No.
not alone. And sometimes doing this work will make you feel like the loneliest soul.
Yes, it will. It will. I know what you mean.
Yes. And I got a boyfriend. I've known him 20 years. Like it's just I got all of the great things that would make a person happy.
Yeah.
But but they don't understand that in order to do this work, it requires a certain separation, a certain seclusion, a certain focus and seriousness. One thing that I love about my boyfriend is he's a big kid. He's goofy. And I like that about him. He's sexy, but he's goofy because it pulls me away from this. I've been serious all my life, Delequa. I've been serious all my life. You know,
Yeah.
at one point I said to myself, bitch, you don't know how to have any fun. You don't know how to have any fun. I'm like, bitch, because you're always doing something that's going to change somebody's life. You're always doing
Yeah.
something that's going to change even your life. It's going to propel somebody forward. It's going to, break some shackle, loose some chain,
Right. Right.
deliver, destroy these yokes and, all of
Come
these,
on, destroying yo.
right, right. But it's just like, but I don't really, I haven't heard my own laughter in a while. Yeah. And that's just because the work requires me to be focused. And like we were discussing, I'm head bitch in charge. So
HBIC.
yeah,
Okay.
yes. Shout out to Tiffany Pollard because I'm head bitch in charge, which means I gotta sign everything, I gotta critique everything, I gotta read everything, I gotta
Mm-hmm.
talk to the accountant, I gotta talk to the lawyer, I gotta look at the dates, I gotta do like put out the fires. It's a lot. And even my boyfriend said to me, and it just made me feel so good because he was like, you do so much. And I was like, yeah, babe, I do. And he was just like, he says, I want to always be respecting what you built. And I'm like, oh, and I said, I want to respect what you built because get this, out of all of that, my boyfriend's a minister. My boyfriend's a reverend,
Oh
literally
wow.
in New York City. His church is more of a unity denomination, but and unity and fellowship and things like that. The denomination is more progressive. So they
Yeah.
understand trans, they understand two spirited, they understand,
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
things, this unity and this love and, all of that. So I'm like, God, you would. And God said to me, He's what you needed. He's what you needed.
Isn't
I'm
it
like,
beautiful?
isn't that, and get it. We just got together the last day of Pride Month in June. I have known him, like I met him 20 years ago and was interested in dating him then, but I had too much, I was too broken to have any
Mm-hmm.
type of relationship with anybody, including myself at that time. But I went to New York because I'm from Philly. So I went to New York and I met him and it was love at first sight. And then I ran from him for 20 years. I just ran because I had to work like 16 years of therapy, medication, psychiatrists, psychologists, doctors. Like I had to do all of that. And then the last day of Pride Month, I looked at him because we were FaceTiming and I said, babe, I said Jermaine, because I wasn't calling him babe at that time. His name's Jermaine. And he said yes. And I said, I don't want another man to touch me in life ever again if it's not you. He started crying.
Mm-hmm.
He had been waiting a long time. He said he never thought it would happen. He was prepared to love me from afar.
Oh, that is, you know what? Being in love is,
Mm.
it's wonderful. It's
It,
wonderful. And, especially when your man says the most sweetest thing to you.
yes.
So I get it. I get it. My aunt said something so sweet to me yesterday. So I was talking about, like I told you, I had suicide attempts and stuff, and
Yeah.
and he was just like, I'm so glad you didn't succeed. Because he said, if you didn't know you had a man like me sitting there waiting. I said, you did all right. I'm so
And,
glad.
and he's right. I'm so like, because I've been there too, girl. I'm so glad
Yeah.
I never succeeded either because
Me
we,
too. Oh, and I'll never go back to that. Oh,
oh,
I'm so happy with me now. I look at myself. I'm looking like, come on now. I'm just looking at myself. This thing like, oh, they sitting up. Yeah. Oh, the spaces. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's funny too. This morning, this girl, I had no makeup on or nothing, hair wrapped up, nothing. We went to McDonald's. Pretty little black girl. In the drive-through, she says to me, "You're so pretty," and I'm sitting here. I'm like, I hadn't washed my face yet, girl. Like, what? Like sitting here, and it happens so often now. It's just crazy, like I always desired people to look at me and say that I
yes,
was attractive and things like
you're
that. And it happens
beautiful.
now so much.
Yeah.
And, but I don't even think about that no more. I'm just like, now it's here. Okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, buy my music,
Yeah.
live life, love yourself, and just enjoy life. Like, that's where I'm at.
But
I am happy in my household. I got my man. I'm good.
but you know what it is? Because it's not necessarily just you're beautiful that you needed to hear. You needed to hear the affirmation of the beautiful woman you are.
Thank you. That's why I just tell my boyfriend. That's exactly what I
Yeah,
needed.
it was that. And that was warranted. And I'm so glad that you're hearing it now, and you're going to continue to hear it for the rest of your life, mind you, because you're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman, beautiful voice, just beautiful soul, beautiful spirit, like you did. I'm so glad that you learned, like I learned, that you deserve to be loved, because that was, they really, church can do a number on you.
Church
It,
will do a hurting on you, make you think you're worthless, and
worthless.
you're so wrong. You're gonna burn in this eternal fire forever and
Yeah,
ever and ever. I'm
yeah.
like, well, I
Like,
feel like I'm in an eternal fire dealing with you Negroes now.
exactly. And God had to say to me, and this was so funny because I shocked some Christian one day because she said to me, "Oh, hell is real, da 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 da." And I said to her, I said the opposite. I said, "And so is heaven. Heaven is real." I
There you
said,
go.
and get this, I said, I may not be where the religious Christians are, but my God loves me so much that he's prepared a place for me away from y'all, somewhere in his presence.
Say that.
She looked at me,
Say that.
she
Say
looked,
it.
she looked at me. I said, wherever my God is, I will be. I said, yeah, he has no thoughts of harming me,
No.
thoughts of good and not of evil. His word says that, to bring me to an expected end.
Jeremiah 29:11. Come on now.
Ah, you better, you know what? You know
Oh, I
what?
know the
You
thoughts
know
that I
your
have for
word.
you.
You know
Thoughts
your
of
word.
what?
You know your word. You know your word, girl. Yes. Yes. And you know what's so funny? It's become a game to me. I love to
Yeah.
like get them like that. I
Yeah,
love
people love because they love to talk about the Bible. Then I'll be sitting back like, I tell people that I know the scriptures. I don't know all of them. I know a lot of them, and I can tell you where a
yeah.
lot of them are. I just don't go around and tell everybody that because people get scared, they get like intimidated, or they want to argue with you about it.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing with nobody about this Bible, child. I've read it because I was raised in it. I believe some parts of this, but I'm not arguing with you
Yes.
about that. You go do
Yes.
what you're gonna do. Now I argue down about Beyonce, but I'm not arguing about all this other stuff. You feel what I'm saying? Because
Yes.
I ain't got time for all that.
Yes. Yes. So beautiful. So beautiful. So tell me, have you ever thought about taking your music abroad, performing in Europe?
You said performing where?
In Europe.
It's funny you just said that. I would love to get over there. I would love to get overseas. I have some people over there. They listen to my music there. I'm just waiting for what's to come. I'm trusting the process.
Yes.
I would love to drop a single and like go number one on a Hot 100 right away and all that. I'm looking forward to that day. I would
Yes.
love to be the first trans woman to go number one on Billboard. I would love that. I would love to be the first trans to do
You
something in
better
music.
speak it. You better
You
speak
know,
it.
I would
Speak it.
love
Don't be afraid.
that. So, yeah, I would love to get over there.
No, because definitely like what I learned, because you know my story. I started when I was 22. I got the opportunity to go to Paris and
To
model.
go to Paris,
And
yeah.
it just opened me up to the world. Like there's so many different places we can go with our music. I never would have thought that my music would do well in China and Japan. And
Yeah.
it's like those places, they have like K-pop and things like that. So and I'm saying this to you for a reason, because your voice is very beautiful. It has the tonation of your voice is very beautiful, and they
Thank you.
love those kinds of sounds. They love those kinds of tones. And my dentist at the time, he was like, "You need to you need to go to China." He's like, "We got millions of people there." He said, "And your music would do well there, and he said, you will make millions of dollars on China alone. The rest of the world would not even need to buy anything." And I was like, "Really?" And he was like, "Yeah, like you need to." And I just was like, "What?" Like it just, I love that it's not so much. I'm no longer like, and I'm not, my music is all over now, but
Mm-hmm.
it's good to be an international artist,
Yeah.
to break away from American soil, because there's a lot of misogyny in music. There's a lot of misogyny. And I say misogyny because any deity or entity that comes in with a feminine, more softer appeal, they immediately want to crush and control. Crush and control. Use you for their fetishes and do all of this. And it's like, oh no, honey, I don't need to do this. Did you not know I am the belle of the ball over here,
Okay.
here, down here, down here, down there? Like, it's just, like, keep your options open. I'm telling you that. Don't just think about America. Don't just think about America. It's lovely. Yeah, we do good with music here, but I want to tell you, like somebody told me, there are celebrities on every continent, rich folk on every continent.
Yeah.
So, like, that's what I learned. I'm not going to stay here and fight for something that, like you said, is already mine. I first thing smoking. Like like I'm in the process. I'm trusting the process now to take my music back to France, because it's like, but now that I've been thinking that and putting that into place, there's so many other places. They're like, oh, you got to stop here first, and you got to stop here first, and you got to stop. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be traveling, because like there are places that really love what we have to offer.
Right. Right.
There's this huge Brazilian entertainer singer, and she is just loved. She's loved. And the thing about, I say she, but she's I don't know if she's trans, actually. I don't know if she's trans or if she's in drag, but I know that she comes out of it. I know that. Like, I know she comes out of it, and she dresses, and she'll exhibit her masculine side sometimes, but they totally respect and adore her. Like, and I mean, Brazil, but anything with the Spanish culture is just going to go.
Yeah.
It just goes. Yeah. They support their own. Like, they just support their own so much. So, but she is just so big. I see her name in my mind. It starts with a G, but I just can't remember.
You find her, send her to me. Send it to me.
She is. Yeah, I'm gonna look her up, because she is just so big. And the thing is, what I love most about her is not what her gender is. It's that she was unapologetically ready to be herself, and her country embraced that.
Yeah.
So that's really what it's for. But I gotta find her. Okay, give me three words that inspire and empower you.
3 words that inspire and empower me: faith, hope, and love.
See, beautiful words. And as you did that, I found her. She has 4.6 million followers on Instagram. Her name is Gloria Groove. I can send you.
Gloria Groove. Let me follow her.
I'm gonna share the profile right now. There you are. I sent her right to you right there. Look at her. Like, when we're done this, you look at okay. It came to me because I see you. Ooh. You have a lot of hues in your skin and in your look. It's not just traditional African American. You look Spanish, and there's just so many other things there. So, use them. Use that beauty and go be a Gloria Groove, honey. Go be a Gloria.
I know that's right. Yes. I like, come on, somebody.
You have there's a lot there. So you said faith, hope, and love. Okay, please tell everyone where they can follow you, find you on social media, and find your music and your videos, etc., etc.
Yes, so you can find me on social media. TikTok. I'm now doing TikTok a lot more. I'm starting to finally get into it. Yeah. I don't have any TikTok dance, but I just post some stuff on there just for fun, and people pay attention. Yes. You can, if that's official Deleqúa, just look up Deleqúa, Delequa, and everything else is at I am Deleqúa, and my music is everywhere, all streaming platforms. Please go stream, go listen to all the music, share it. Yes. Reach out to me. I love to hear from people. Yes. Yeah, that's where you find me.
Thank you so much for doing this today. It was
Thank you for having me. I'm honored. Like I said, I saw you had Jason. Jason is someone I know. I know Jason. That's my buddy. Yeah. And Be Conscious Lee. I saw you interview Be Conscious Lee, who's an amazing person as well. I love his take on a lot of things.
That man is like literally, that man is he is the epitome of what Black men should be.
Yeah.
He's
Mm-hmm.
open, he is educated. He didn't feel the need to always class it up. You know, he's himself. He's
Right.
himself. And you know what I love most about him? I love his relationship with his son. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't do any of that toxic masculinity, that misogyny with his boy. He don't
Mm-hmm.
do that. He don't do that. He hugs his son. He loves his son. He picks his son up. He kisses his son. Like, it's just so beautiful to
Yeah.
see. So yeah, thank you again so much.
Thank you
Don't
for
go.
having me.
Listen, don't go away.
I'm
Ladies
not.
and gentlemen, you have heard the vocal stylings of Deleqúa, artist, creative, shaman, prophetess, so many other things. Make sure you follow her on all social media streaming platforms and music platforms. Make sure you reach out and say hi and let her know that she's loved, because she is. We over here at the Queendom of Shade, we love and appreciate you for being who you are. Say goodbye, but don't hang up.
I will. I love you all. Thank you all in the Queendom of Shade, my sister, my friend. I love you.
So, did you enjoy? I hope you did. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and don't forget to cash at me at the Queen of Shade. I am your favorite content creator, right? Right. You want to see more of this content, right? Right. Cash at me. I love you. Mwah.
I've got my black stilettos on. Don't you make me take them off. I'm assuming first position. Gonna show you I'm a boss. I've been given 60 seconds just to put my thing down. I'll have you wanting my stilettos by the time I turn around. Turn that TV down.